Has seeking validation left you feeling like you've lost yourself? So this is one of like the top nasty habits that people who struggle with self-esteem and people-pleasing experience. The validation and praise from others can feel like a drug that you just don't want to let go of. And because there's so many benefits, there's some benefits, it can be hard to justify at times why it's helpful to let go of this habit. How do you even know if you're seeking validation in the first place? The simple answer is whenever you look outside of yourself for your worth and your enoughness, when you are looking for things to validate you and your worth, that is when you're seeking validation. But in case that isn't helpful, here are some like day-to-day things that someone who seeks validation on a day-to-day, some of the things that they may be experiencing or doing in a day-to-day. 1, seeking external things to measure your worth. And so if I asked you, what makes you worthy in your eyes? Is it your salary, your degree, your job, the good things you do for others, your car, your house, how many friends you have, your accolades and awards? These things can feel and sound good and give us a sense of pride and accomplishment, of course, but they are unstable, making them poor ways on their own for us to measure our worth. At any moment, your job could change. How others feel about you could change. The friends in your life could be unhealthy, and you may want to alter or end some of those relationships. So my question to you is, are you seeking validation and working for your worth, or are you seeking true connection to yourself and to others? The second way that this shows up for people is conforming to fit in to be accepted. At the root of this is usually a fear of rejection, a fear of not being liked. And so to mitigate that, you try to alter or change to fit someone else's preferences, beliefs, and ideas. This can be in small ways, like choosing what the group wants to eat or what they want to do more often and just going with the flow, to changing your values to fit others' ideas and their worldview. You don't disagree or say how you really feel, even if on the inside you have a differing opinion. Being in the crowd feels safer than stepping outside of that because their opinions matter so much to you and your worth. Being on the outside feels like an impossible situation. So you play your part, you hold back, you make sure not to rock the boat too much. But the powerful thing really is that once you learn that some rejection is okay, and you can manage the feelings of not belonging, at least in certain spaces, this is where you find your true identity, voice, and power. Another way this shows up is a fear of confrontation. And so validation doesn't feel direct here, but it really is in the feeling of, if I upset others, then I won't belong, or our relationship won't be able to manage the tension of that confrontation. So instead, you agree, you say yes when you want to say no, you don't speak up, even when you've been hurt by others in your relationship. Your goal really is to be the peacekeeper. But on the other side of that, it leaves you feeling resentful and your needs not getting met. The thing is that because if I keep the peace, then 1, I won't have to feel uncomfortable. And then 2, others will see me as easygoing and want to keep me around, want to be in a relationship with me. This fear of friction and not wanting to upset others is validation in disguise for people pleasers because it doesn't directly feel like trying to seek validation, but the avoidance of friction with others is how it plays out. I want to leave you with a few things. And so seeking validation and people pleasing does have benefits, but there are also a price that does have to be paid. The price is our own self-trust, our identity, and true belonging. So trying to win others over takes us out and away from a place where we already feel and believe that we are worthy, to then hustling to attain it and the validation, praise, and acceptance of others or things. If you struggle with people pleasing and seek validation, sign up for my email. This is where I send out quick tips and things that you can do practically to mitigate this. But really, seeking validation and people pleasing can leave you feeling like you've lost yourself, really, and caught in this never-ending web of trying to win others over. Their praise and validation feels like enough to make you feel worthy, but only temporary. In the end, it leaves you feeling humiliated and ashamed. You may have no idea how to even end this habit because it's been a part of your reality for so long. A very quick thing I like to urge you to go towards is authenticity. So authenticity is freedom. It is a place where validation does not exist outside of you, but in how you view yourself and how you show up in the world. I want you to answer this question: is how can I move through the world being authentic and proud of who I am?